Welcome everybody to live show number 13.
Cheater.
Prepared as always, aren't we?
I had to get it somewhere from somewhere.
True.
Anyway, yeah, welcome everybody. As you can see, we are in the spirit of things. We have some new artworks in the background. Well, not new necessarily, but new to the show.
Ravensdale.
Ravensdale. Yes, so we decided to redecorate in honor of our upcoming project, or of our already started project, but upcoming game. So we shall do the news first, as always. Let's see. There hasn't been a lot of things happening, but one big thing is the PlayStation release.
Dum dum dum.
We are released on PlayStation. Finally on... Oh wait, no, we're missing the Wii U stuff.
The Wii U stuff is still missing, yes.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to say finally on all platforms, but no. But yes, so we are on PlayStation Network. I have no idea if it's how good it's going. Haven't seen anything, but we're excited to be on those three platforms anyway.
And we celebrated.
And we celebrated. We had a barbecue. We had burgers. Ben Ken was here.
Yes.
Not just Ben Ken, but we had a couple of guys visiting, including our favorite comic artist, Ben Ken, who has probably a boatload of new inspiration for new Gianna comics featuring...
Oh, yes.
And I'm kind of afraid of that.
Yeah, featuring all kinds of characters. Yeah, so that was fun. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of rain after, luckily, during the whole barbecue.
Oh yeah. I remember that our animator surfed on his skateboard.
Yes,
back
yes,
home.
it was ridiculous.
And he surfed. So
Yes.
It was. I remember I was still upstairs when it happened, and we still had the grills outside, and we had to rescue them because they were on the verge of being blown into the train station.
Really?
So yeah, they were just being blown around on the rooftop. So
Okay.
so Yosha and I had to run outside and grab them, and that was basically like jumping into a pool. You were just as wet. It was fun. It was great fun. It was only fun because I was. No, I can't say that, can I? That I was drunk.
No.
Yeah, so that was good. Then, good news. Every single reward has been shipped. Nothing is left here. We don't have anything, not even our...
Replacement, not reward.
Well, yes, replacements, obviously. Sorry. So, yeah, every replacement shipping that was still lagging behind is now out and should arrive any time now. That was that, and what else? Yeah, so we've been hard at work preparing our next Kickstarter campaign. Some of you may already know this. I think we talked about it. Ravensdale is gearing up to be our next Kickstarter campaign. We're preparing everything. We're trying to put all the lessons we learned with Gianna to use. Trying to structure rewards better. Trying to make it more appealing to you guys. Trying to make it easier for us too. And we have a couple of awesome surprises for you. I can't say anything right now because we're going to keep that for special situations. But definitely, it's going to be very worth checking out. Yeah. So. Yeah, we're in the middle of preparation. We're doing the videos, we're doing the rewards, we're doing all the materials we need. It's as always an exhausting and stressful process, but in the end, it's most of the time it's good fun too. And we will launch the campaign in July when Schmitty will dress up as an owl. Actually, that was an idea. We were actually thinking of bringing Schmitty to the RPC as an owl, That didn't work out because we didn't get the costume, but we are going to Gamescom, and maybe it'll work that time.
You know, I really searched for our
could we please stick to the
I
plan
think-
putting me into a tin can instead?
I don't know. I think people. What do you think? What do you guys think? Do you want to see him in a tin can or in an owl, or as an owl, as it were? You can decide. Tell us in chat, and
We should make
Sorry,
a call for that. Definitely.
I hate you.
owl in a tin can. See?
Dun, dun, dun.
I can live with that.
Okay.
I can live with that.
Owl in a tin can. So the Owlminator.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Actually, we're preparing stuff, and we're launching in July. We can't tell you right now what exact day it's going to be. There's still some legal and organizational stuff to be taken care of. But we will announce the starting date next week through the usual channels, meaning through Emily. What?
That is my job.
That's what she does. So you'll get a date then.
You should have known that with this one truth you've broken Sarah again.
Yeah, this is it. Just works. Yeah. So I think on the news front, that's pretty much it. I mean, we have other things going on here, but nothing we can really talk about at this point in time. Producer lady, any other news? Did I forget anything? Nope. Excellent. So it is time for questions with Schmitty. Dun,
Da
dun,
da
dun.
da.
Back.
Have you decided to skip the second one actually? Yes or no?
I don't know. Yes,
Just
We are masters of
just
preparation.
roll
so
just
you
roll
know.
questions at me.
I wrote. I wrote the 20 critical hit. Okay, do you plan to make Steam trading cards for Jana Sisters?
Undecided now. Not that I'm aware of, but if we get the chance to do some of them, yeah, why not? Would be great to have some, right?
It's always great to have more stuff. So
Yes. So we would like to have Steam trading cards, but we have to ask this our bosses.
yes.
Okay, then the second part of this question is how the frack do you defeat the second boss?
The second boss. Yeah, you see, he has basically two main attack phases. Phase one is he tries to slap you with lots of tentacles, which is pretty much not helping in defeating him. But after the third time, tentacle slapping you, he is withdrawing into the background, and then he has these two extra fang tentacles, which he's using one of them, slapping it to the platform and getting stuck if he's not hitting you. So you have to avoid that one. If he's stuck at the platform, you see a little cross-shaped sign, plaster?
It's like a band-aid.
Band-aid, yes. On his tentacle, so just dash or jump onto that spot, and then he slaps himself in the face. 3 times slapped himself in the face, boss dies.
If you need any more help with that, Oh My Garrett has a nice video prepared for defeating all the bosses.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's very helpful. You can find it on YouTube or just ask Oh My Garrett directly. He's pro. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun.
I just made. Well, never mind. Okay, so next question. What are your favorite parts of Jana?
I hope you mean the game. My favorite part. Shut up. My favorite part about the game is Could you please? Sorry. Epic win! I broke Nico. Yeah. Okay. Nonetheless, my favorite part about the game is level 1-6 because this is the level which got the most love from my side. So this is my basically favorite part about the Gianna Sisters game. Shut the fuck up.
Do you have any opinion on that one?
Huh?
Do you have any opinion on that one?
What exactly? Oh, right. Favorite, let me sort my thoughts again. My favorite part about Gianna Sisters the game, just to clarify here. Let's see. I think just in general, every section where you can pinball around that's I just love doing that.
Okay.
Even though most of the time I do it even when I don't really have to, just because it's so much fun going like a pinball back and forth and up and down.
Especially when you break things.
And especially when you break things, and then when you go through the what are they called, repeaters, and then you go even further, and I like that. I love that.
Speed junkie.
Sarah,
My favorite part.
About the game, please.
is the chat on? Just no? Okay. Just nobody talking. Okay. Nobody.
Just quite. I think it's level 2 too, because it was the first one I built, and it's kind of bumpy and jumpy, and I like that. You know, because it's the introduction of the jumpers and the repeaters.
Ah,
so
okay. Yeah.
I
Okay.
like that one.
Excellent.
Really.
That's it. Okay.
Okay, possibly a puppy. Or
Puppy.
you post it as a puppy. Puppy.
Excellent.
Why not?
I like puppies.
Yes. We should invite Johan next time. He likes puppies too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Why
but
don't we have like weekly presenters from the company?
because
Because-
everyone else just flees when they see the camera.
Yes, yes.
They're very shy.
I mean, if any one of you were part of the original backers that were viewing the original live stream when we reached our goal, basically the first 1.5 hours of that was people hiding in the background numbing pizza.
Yeah.
And to not try sitting in front of the camera. Just changed when I was, well, volunteering, more or less. And then dragging people in front of the camera, which was pretty awesome. Dragging people in front of
It
the
also
camera.
helped that they at some point were, that just always lowers inhibitions and everything. So
True.
yeah. Yeah. Keep going.
Yes.
Yo, Void.
Hello, Void.
Hello. Hi. Do you plan to re-release your old Spellbound titles like Desperados or Robin Hood?
Answer on this is nope. We haven't planned that far ahead into the future. The two projects which are clearly a yes, and we want to do them in the future, is Ravensdale, which is coming up next. There you have it, and Gianna Sisters 2, which is also which is actually the thing of my heart. I want to do badly, improving on what we did.
Yeah. Do we have any do you know what you want for the game? I mean, nothing like official we're doing that or anything, but what is your intention behind it, Mr. Mastermind? Mr. Mastermind.
Story. I want to have story. I want to show a bit more about who's Gianna.
And why is she jumping on all those owls?
Yes. What problems does she have with owls? Basically, this is something I really want to exploit with Gianna Sisters 2. If we're at that point when we're doing the game, and let's say a bit better auto aim for the dash if you want to hit owls actually, and not have to be a god like Oh My Garrett at that. Yeah. I know a lot of people, and I had some play testing of the add-on today with someone who's coming from the very, 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 very casual side of things, and I was like, "Oh, we have to improve this."
Oh my God!
So
you don't get an opinion because you've completed the game way too easily, so you don't have an opinion.
You just don't count sucks.
Okay.
So yeah.
Just kidding.
Pot.
It's okay. We take every feedback seriously, of course.
Most of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so awesome. What a straight face you can say that.
Well,
It's so
yeah, Emily actually did play the add-on, yes. And I think you beat the first boss, didn't you?
No, that was the easy mode, like the Wii version.
Oh, the Wii
Yes.
version. Yes.
Emily beat the Wheezy mode.
Yeah. Ellen has been playing the DLC.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're testing. It's always fun.
By the way, good old Ben Ken here in the chat is one who tested a very, 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 very early pre-alpha build of the add-on.
Yes.
Thanks for the testing. You did some interesting information for me to improve on the levels.
Make it even more hard. Oh no, never mind. No. We don't want people to throw controllers at them.
No.
Now what helps? Bouncy screens. Bounces the controller right back into your face.
Bouncy screens. Excellent. Schmidt-DOS. Oh right, we're at that point now. Okay, was that all the questions?
At least all that I haven't seen any.
I don't think there were any questions in the chat. Yeah, we have to apologize a little bit because there's a little lack of new things.
It's more there are new things, but we can't talk about it, is it?
Yeah, well, there are more things, but yeah, we're not ready to announce them. So, but to be fair, starting with probably with the next live show, actually, we're going to have a lot more live shows again, like on a more regular basis. Emily, what's the plan? Going back to weekly?
Probably not, but...
Or irregular, like...
Kickstarter specials?
Yeah, Kickstarter specials and then a couple of the regular ones. Not every week, but they will be a little bit longer and a little bit more exciting than they've been the last couple of weeks.
Okay, so during the Kickstarter campaign there will be lots of special shows and performances and... Performances? No. Anyway, we're going to do...
Schmitty's gonna dance again.
Is he going to do the Gangnam Style this time?
Ooh.
Could we please have a commercial break right now?
Mitty do the Gangnam Style. Okay.
No! I mean, we have an elevator, yes, but no!
Do you notice that last time... Well, I don't know. Emily hasn't shown me the chat. I don't know how many people are in there.
And hi, Sasha. Welcome.
Hi, Sasha.
Hello.
Totally Kickstarter thing. Yes.
Gangnam Style in an owl costume. Oh, I can't see this going wrong.
Oh, Sarah, got new shoes. They're so cute.
I don't know. When did you get them?
Last week or something.
Don't hit Sarah in the face again.
They're cute. I won't. I'll just do this. Okay, so about Kickstarter. Yes, we had more viewers when I sent out emails and updates from Kickstarter. The problem is now that the Gianna Kickstarter is almost wound down completely, and there isn't much news in terms of Gianna despite the DLC, which we can't talk much about now. We will when it comes out, but there isn't much else besides that. So I don't update the Kickstarter backers regularly anymore, and basically just giving everybody an update every other week that just says, "Hey, remember our live show." And then the live shows don't contain much information about Gianna for the Gianna backers. It's a little bit redundant. When the Ravensdale Kickstarter, I think you're like cowering away. You're like super lean, so I don't elbow you in the face like last
She's
time.
afraid.
When the Ravensdale Kickstarter picks up, that will happen again, mixed in with our regular weekly updates for Kickstarter. It'll be, hey, check out what's going on in Ravensdale now, because during the Kickstarter and during Ravensdale development we'll have much more to talk about. Right now we're in a period of like, there are so many things that we can't say, and all of them we can talk about like on the same day pretty much. So right now we're just kind of waiting in the water. So that's why. So
prefer to have a little time where we have fewer viewers as opposed to spamming everybody to death and then having no viewers in the end.
Yeah. And plus, you guys don't even need updates anyway, because you're just like on the dot every time.
Yeah, you're here, which is awesome, by the way. Just saying, we're very happy to have such dedicated viewers.
What Nico said.
But in general, yes, Boyd, you are correct. More people come to the live shows when they receive more regular updates. but I don't want to update everybody so regularly when there isn't much to watch besides us being goofy and giving you updates about what news is going on. So, but it'll happen more with the Ravensdale Kickstarter if you choose to back that.
To add to that, I think it was Ben on Facebook commented that we should include something like tutorials and tips and stuff on design, on 3D modeling, on programming, on anything we can share on how to get into the industry and work in the industry and so on and so forth. On principle, yeah, sure, we would love to do that. The question is if people are interested in that, and then we'd probably have to find a proper format for that. Like, how do we do that? Do we just bring one of our people in there? As you heard Sarah say earlier, most of them are very camera shy. Yeah, so we're going to have to see if we can accommodate that on some level. I think we can, and I think it's a good idea. I think we actually started a little bit when we did the interviews with our people, and they explained how, gave tips and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can expand on that a little bit. I think it's a good idea.
The plan with the plan with the live shows, once the Ravensdale Kickstarter starts and more people are coming into our circles, we'll probably do the same thing as we did last time when we started the live shows, as in interviewing people who worked on Ravensdale, interviewing, and going through the whole cycle all over again, because it's likely that from that cycle we'll gather like another handful of super loyal subjects like we have with Gianna, which is exciting, and which we hope will happen. But we just have to make sure that they were giving people like something that they would like to watch, and if we're going to advertise like a tutorial or something, then we want to make sure that it's going to reach a lot of people, because otherwise we want to actually give that information to people who want it, and make sure that the people who want to watch it are going to be able to get the memo that it exists, so they can come watch it. So once Ravensdale Kickstarter kicks off, the content of the live show will just go back up to what it was when it began and when we weren't sworn to secrecy.
Yeah.
Also, to answer Leonard's question there. Sorry. I've been doing a lot today. A lot the last week. My brain is like pudding right now. Also, Vladimir's gone for 5 days, so I'm him as well. The reward. When Nico said all the rewards had been sent out, he misspoke. He meant the replacements had been all been sent out. Everything has been sent out except for the figurines and the pill owls, because those are still coming from a manufacturer that we have to order from. The figurines probably take a little bit longer than the pill owls, because there are 4 pill owls, and they're coming from inside Germany, I think. I'm not really sure, but the figurines are coming from China, so they'll take a longer time. But obviously, as soon as we get them in, we'll let everybody know that we have them and be excited about it, and then we can say, yes, all of the rewards are sent out finally. Oh my god. Because it's been a year since the Gianna Kickstarter.
Yeah.
All the replacements are...
Lesson learned from Kickstarter, by the way. One of the lessons we incorporate into the new Kickstarter is that physical rewards are ridiculously crazy. So yes, there will be physical rewards in the new Kickstarter. Not going to go into details, but they will be a lot more clearly structured, and they will still be awesome, but easier for us to produce, to get, and then also ship them to you.
Do I have to do shipping again?
Yes.
We can help, yes. But it's not going to be 10,000 packages of small things. It's kind of funny.
That's what
Basically, any shipping. If you haven't received your item, or you're wondering if it's been sent, you don't have to wonder if your item has been sent, if your replacement item has been sent, because it has. Because every single replacement item has been sent, and if it's taking forever, then you can blame Deutsche Post, because we've been having some difficulties with them, and really, really specific.
It's a bureaucracy issue. Anybody who's from Germany will understand.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to my post.
Oh, right, I still want to play that game.
Please no spoilers. Me too.
The Last of Us?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
Okay. So let me get back. Yeah, right. So we're done with the questions. We're done with the news. So that leaves us with discussion.
Discussion round.
Tonight, we have two topics. Sarah, which one do you want to start with? So which one do you want to discuss first?
Let's
Which one
discuss the first one first, because when I go into rage mode, the second one we can always stop and never look back.
Excellent. Okay, so first topic. I'm sure everybody is aware Microsoft did a huge 180 with the Xbox One.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically all the stuff that they were going to do that was different from Xbox, they reversed. They changed the DRM policy. They allowed trade-in of games without restrictions. What else? Everything. No more 24-hour check-ins, no more anything, and also no more digital used games or digital games sharing and family members and all that stuff. So from a developer point of view, let's talk about this. So I shall kick it off. Personally, since I'm a PC gamer anyway, for me, honestly, the new console generation is a little weak. Not in terms of power. I mean, yes, they are more powerful. They will produce better graphics, which will make the games more expensive again. They allow for bigger worlds. They have a share feature, a like button on the PlayStation, and other than that, everything stays the same. So right now, when I'm looking at it, I just see a weak PC, more or less, which makes me a little sad. From a developer point of view, I would have liked to progress a little more towards digital on consoles as well. Digital has so many uses. I mean, Microsoft maybe went a bit overboard with it when they announced what they wanted to do. Sony, from the get-go, kind of capitalized on that mistake and did it as they did it before. But the whole idea of sharing games between family members, the whole principle of digital used games trading, which Valve is now maybe picking up actually.
Yes.
That I think had a lot of potential, especially in a time where I have to wonder why, on consoles at least, every game still costs the same. Yeah. Every title that is produced, regardless if it's a Force Unleashed or if it's a Skyrim, costs the same. And I'm using these two examples because, from my point of view, Force Unleashed was a 5-hour experience. Maybe I played through it in 5 hours and I was done with it. Skyrim, on the other hand, you can put 200 hours into it and you can still play and you can still enjoy it. And I'm paying the same price for both. And that has something to do with, and the whole price model that is present in retail seems inappropriate to me at this time.
But the question is if you would change it, for example, because the price modeling that we have right now is pretty similar to all other industries that you have, especially regarding entertainment. So it's
No,
exactly not.
It
That's
is.
the problem.
You have a product, and regardless of its quality, you pay the price.
Quality, yes, but not quantity.
Or the time. I don't know. For example, if you buy a film, it doesn't matter if he's like 70 minutes or if he's 120 minutes
Actually,
on a DVD.
just
or at least on
not
the DVD.
not on a
that I
DVD,
bought.
but if you go to the movie theater, for example, you pay more for overtime movies.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
only
Just
if
as an
it's
example.
really. You doesn't pay, for example, this distinguish between like 70 minutes and 120 minutes.
No, yeah, that's true.
And if you put it in a relative comparison to, okay, you have a maximum of 3 hours and then it's 50 minutes of this 3 hours,
Yeah.
it's as roughly like 20 hours in game time. And you don't have this in the film industry, for example. The thing is, if you would change that, and you have seen what happened now with Microsoft when they try to do new stuff and reinvent it, what will happen if you do it like a new pricing model? Will it all go overboard because it's something new, people don't know it, and how will they receive it? So if you would like make a console based on this completely, I don't know if this would be received well, and if not, then you're pretty much totally screwed, aren't you?
Yeah, the big problem about this comparison between movies and games is that before a movie gets in your hands on a DVD copy, it has been monetized 3 to 6-fold. So basically, you have the movies, and you go to the movies. You have the rental market where you rent movies and watch them. You have markets like the
You have the special edition showings.
yeah, special edition showings, exactly, stuff like that. Director's cuts versions, which are shown later, something like that, maybe. And before you got everything in your little box for you at home, it has made probably the same amount you paid 4 times for this one copy in brackets. This is something games really don't have.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, but
something.
the pricing model is basically you just have a fixed price and you pay for it.
Yes, but
you know-
the thing is, I agree with you that I don't know, and we don't know if it would go over well. The thing is, what the one thing that the whole thing with Microsoft showed is that people don't like change. This is the biggest thing. I mean, some of the stuff that Microsoft did, in my personal opinion, wasn't negative. I thought some of the ideas were good, like the used games trading, digital used games trading, and stuff like that. But people still don't like it, and they don't like it, and so Microsoft now turned around. Problem is, if we always stick with that philosophy of like, how is it going to be received, we're never going to get anywhere. And
Sure.
I don't know what the ideal solution is, but from my point of view, it should go in a direction where you can produce a game that costs a certain amount and yields a certain result in terms of expected gameplay time and thereby entertainment value, and you can price it at that point and put it on the market, and then people feel like they paid the right amount of money for it, like they got good value for it. I mean, that's what you do when you buy almost anything besides entertainment products. And even there, you think about it. I mean, think about the last time you bought a book you didn't like, or you bought a movie or you went into a movie theater and you realized, oh, that movie was really bad. You feel cheated, right?
Yeah, but the problem is that the game time you get out of the game doesn't necessarily compare to the price that the development cost, does it?
Well, but
Because if you have like a game, this is super nice in graphics, super highly animated, and it just took a lot of money to produce those 5 hours of gameplay that you had, because it was so expensive to get the animators, to get the artists, to get the programmers to make it look nice, to get all the shit done, and then you have a retro game or something, and you have 30 hours out of it, but okay, it was done by one person, and you can't really compare it, and it just has the same price, because the price is kind of like the development costs that you had, right?
yeah, but sorry, go ahead, Trudy.
No.
But what does that say? Does that say the development process is maybe not like prioritized right? Because and I'm just like playing devil's advocate here. if a game is being made and you spend millions and millions on graphics, and then you only get 5 hours of content out of it, like 5 hours of enjoyment, then don't you think that's the problem of the company? Like they maybe prioritize things wrong?
Yeah, but maybe that's exactly what the company wanted. Maybe they wanted those 5 hours to be received exactly as they are, with those 5 hours of full enjoyment, with full graphical, it's so nice. And maybe this is what they wanted, and why shouldn't they be allowed to charge exactly that when they had those costs? I mean, yes, I prefer games where you have more content, and I'm willing to go a little bit lower on the graphical side, for example. So you can have. I prefer much more content over a nice view, but it's not that this is a standard that everyone should have or has to have, and I guess it's just the company has to decide. Okay, what do we want?
Yeah, but then we still need an alternative income for those companies, because then we get to that point where we say, okay, a company produces a title that focuses on stunning visuals and just atmosphere, and but for a short time. You're right. I don't think there's any sense in denying the exist, or like denying that kind of game the right to exist, because the problem is if you price everything at the same level, then I do feel like that's just not right. That something feels wrong if I have to pay the same amount regardless of what I get out of it.
But if you buy 2 movies and you don't know either of them, and one you like and watch like 300 times, and the other one you don't like and watch it only the one time, but you paid the same price for it, it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, not saying that it's much better.
Yeah, I think basically movies and games are hard to compare. Yeah, both have entertainment values, but I mean they're two very still different media, in my opinion.
Movies has almost 50 years.
Yeah, and movies, before they reach the point where they are now, as Emily said, had 50 years of time to develop, basically.
Yeah, but maybe, for example, the 5 hours that you have with the awesome-looking game were much more intense than maybe 10 hours that you get of a game that was not as quality.
Okay, and then we get into the situation: how do you quantify or like put into any kind of materialistic way how you enjoy a game?
Yes, and that's the problem.
That is a big problem. That is a big problem, because in the end, people will feel that the money they spend is worth it, or they won't. And then based on that, they will make a decision if they want to buy a game again or not from your company. If it's like, let's say we make a game and we price it at that and that price, and it has that and that much content, then people will play the game and will feel yes, that was worth it, or no, it was not. In the end, what a studio has to do is convince the people that it was money well spent. But with the ever increasing costs of making games in like stand out in terms, especially in terms of graphics, it's just getting harder and harder, and that's kind of a what's the vicious circle? Sorry, it's a vicious circle, because on the one hand side you get better graphics. Then people expect better graphics. Then people cry for better graphics. Then you deliver better graphics, but it costs more to make. And it just turns around until at one point you realize, oh my God, I have to sell 5 million copies, or the game won't be worth doing a sequel to. And that is the point where you can't be, because it just makes no sense. And that's, for me, to come back to the topic of Microsoft's 180. For me, that's a reason why it's so sad that the new consoles are basically only the same that they were before, just with better graphics, because all that is going to do is drive up development costs. And it's not going to give new sources of income, anything.
Yes.
They're
it
just
basically doesn't solve the problem. It just
it just
puts oil
stays
into
the
the
way
fire, yeah.
exactly. It just stays the way it is, and you will the costs of making AAA games. I'm not talking about indie games, obviously. The costs of making AAA games will just go up and go up and go up because you need more detail. With more detail, you need more artists. You need more time of artists, and it just costs money. People sometimes don't realize that, but
yes.
just because you have better hardware doesn't mean it's easier to make something for it.
Yeah. There was a nice article on Gamasutra where someone, oh God, what was his name again? He predicted that that we will probably see less than 10 AAA titles a year in the near future. So,
Which might be the way to go. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
who knows? Maybe that is the answer, and we'll focus more on the medium to small games, as it were, and that don't cost so much to make. But then you question, why is all that power in these machines, and we can't really use it for anything? As a developer, I think a few of the things that Microsoft tried were a good idea, were a step in the right. I mean, for example, I like Steam and it has digital rights management. I know you can't compare it with the consoles because Steam has they have a lot of benefits that consoles don't have. Consoles have this whole restricted thing. You don't have alternatives. If you get a Microsoft console, you have to buy from Microsoft. If you get a Sony console, you have to buy from Sony. And on Steam, you can just you can go to other digital distribution platforms. You get deals. You get weekly deals, daily deals, weekend deals, holiday deals, what have you. Lots of stuff that is not on consoles at this point in time. So the comparison in that regard is weak, but if it had gone more in that direction, I think that would have been a good thing. I'm not going to talk about the other things. They had their reasons, I'm pretty sure, but at this time, I guess they did not communicate them well enough. And I'm curious about the next console generation and how it will play out, honestly, because I see a good potential not going to say a good potential, but I see a risk that this is not the last, but a very endangered console generation. Because as I said, what is the incentive apart from better graphics? There is none. At least none in my eyes. I don't know. It's a difficult situation, and it needs a solution, but I can't tell you any. Can you? No? No solutions?
I have no crystal ball, and I'm not a wise enough man yet to answer this question.
Yeah.
Maybe if your beard grows a little further.
Yeah, if I reach Gandalf level and beard length, maybe then the energies of the cosmos will kick in. Probably the next level I grow feathers in the beak, which would be awesome as well, but scary as. Yeah, I don't think about that. Okay.
Okay. What time is it? Do we have time for another? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Okay, so we'll end this topic here. If there's any more questions or comments or anything, forum, we will answer. Now, the next topic, I don't know if any of you heard that, but there's been some shenanigans going on in Australia, where recently, actually, has it released? Saints Row 4? I don't know if it's already released. It's about to be released. Anyway, Australia refused classification of Saints Row 4, which essentially means it can't be sold in Australia. And this happened because there is Do we need filtering for that? No. Because there is anal probing in the game. Now, if you know Saints Row, I think the general rule of thumb is that it started out crazy. The next game was crazy times 2. The third game was crazy times 200, and the fourth game is apparently
Taking that again.
Yeah, again, it's like out the window. Just if you guys don't know this, in Saints Row, you are now the president of the United States, and you fight off aliens with your superpowers. Yeah. So it's always been ridiculous. In the third, and I think also the second one, you could run around with a big purple.
The third one definitely.
Female fun thing, and and could club people around with it. So, and this is.
Nino, how old are you?
Sorry.
It was a giant purple dildo on a sword hilt.
It was, and
if you want to see it, go on Destructoid and look for Jim Sterling's Jimquisition.
Exactly, he has one. Actually.
Yeah, he has one. They gave it to him as a gift when he was reviewing the game.
Oh my god!
God,
Okay.
don't be such a pussy here.
I was just trying to,
It's so much for female fun.
keep the rating.
That's just like my grandmother would say.
Come on, it was fun. Anyway, so in general,
you know that will now stick to you.
That's fine. So,
That was a bit much.
between big purple dildos and aliens probing into places they shouldn't be, apparently this caused enough of an outrage in politics in Australia that they now banned the sale completely, which begs the question, what is appropriate for games? What can games do? What shouldn't they do? What shouldn't they touch? We've had a similar discussion before about violence in games. This time we're coming at it from the other side. No, not dildos, aliens, Void. Aliens shouldn't be in those places. Although dildos, I think that's up to the user.
By the way,
I think we're going way off topic here.
by the way, coming from the other side, that's what she said, right?
Yeah, just shut up. Oh my god, this show.
Oh man. Glad that not a lot of people.
Okay. So controversy.
So controversy. So, Sarah, why don't you start us off?
No.
Sarah will go into rage mode, I think.
How soon is the question?
Yeah. So Schmitty, you start.
I think it's a difficult topic. So for me as a person, I'm on that side that as long as it's not. I love you too, Longard. I love you too. So, yeah. You broke Sarah.
Can you
Thank you.
just keep the
I can't see anything anymore, but I will talk about it.
yeah.
So, I think when it comes when I think about the whole thing is as long as you're not violating ethical no-goes, there's some out there which are ethical basically in every cultural circle around the globe, and you should always watch out for them. You should be fine with restricting age access for those things. There are some things that are taboo. If you decide for a cultural circle on breaking those taboos, and this is a lesson I learned actually from my mentor Fabian, was he told me if you're breaking with your game a moral or a moral taboo in your game, then you have to compensate for that somehow in some reason and in an appropriate way. For example, let's take it from the violence spectrum. If you have excessive violence, which is going overboard completely, then you have to have, for example, on the other side, let's say you have a murderous fiend and villain who's doing really nasty stuff. I just don't go into detail here. Then you have to punish it in some way. This is waiting out that thing. For example, if you know the movie Seven, it's the Seven Sins and lots of gore and really pretty grim story about murder incidents flavored with the Seven Sins. In this movie, you have this breaking of taboos in a movie, non-stop, but in the end, you have a severe punishment scene, which is basically leaving the viewer in the end with some kind of work up on the whole situation. In the case of Saints Row the Force, I think they actually have this by having comedy there. So yeah, they have some kind of a taboo topic, which is probably, at least in Australia, very taboo, but they put it into a very really surreal and unreal context that make you actually giggle or laugh about it and not going, oh yeah, that's pornographic or something. It's fun. It's a ton of weird, crazy fun. That's my opinion on the thing.
It's kind of why, when you start wondering why, for example, if they censor that, would they censor the South Park episode where Cartman, has the alien
Do they have
coat?
porn in Australia? I guess not.
I
guess
no
you have.
idea.
I guess we have.
I haven't lived there. The point being, Sarah's still building up. She's going to explode later. The point being that who draws the line? So where do you draw the line, or do you draw a line? Is it as a game developer, do you have any kind of moral obligation to society to stick to like not touch certain subjects, to not include certain subjects because it might offend people or because it's not socially acceptable or whatever in that regard. Like Schmitty said, I think it depends on the context often. So in certain contexts, for example, Saints Row is a prime example because in that you just can't take that game seriously. You can't. If you play it for 5 minutes, you can't take it seriously. And then in that case, it just doesn't matter what happens. It's basically all ridiculous to begin with. And then, okay, Sarah, go. Rage mode loaded.
Okay, how do I say this? I'm really pissed if stuff is censored, okay? I'm really not a big fan of censorship. Whatever it is, I'm of the opinion if a game is not fucking allowed to show anal probing, then please could you start censoring news, because if I watch news today, it's really much more freaking me out than any game that I've played ever. Okay, this is for starters. Then it's just totally ridiculous if you compare games to other industries, which, for example, porn just shows shit all the time and no one is doing anything about it. This is just one thing. Then the other thing is, as Schmitty said, it's like cultural differences and every culture sees things differently. So if you want to make a game that just doesn't offend anyone, then I guess you have to make Hello Kitty, and so this will offend some person somewhere because it's it's a kitten and you can run around with it and no, that doesn't
Probably
work.
with people that don't like the color pink.
Yes, you would really upset me. Sorry, I'm offended. Don't bring this game out. So, what the fuck? I mean, really, where have we come from? This can't be. I mean, if you're a developer and you want to do shit like this, yeah, then go ahead and do it. But just be aware of what you do. So, for example, if we want to make, I don't know, give me a taboo. For example, what we had when we discussed downstairs. If you want to make Rape Simulator 2014, go ahead. I won't be part of it. This is an opinion that I take as a developer. I won't do that. But if there are people out there who want to do that, yeah, please go ahead, and I hope you will be bashed for that one. But if you want to make the decision to do it, you should have it, because that's freedom for me. I really don't like it if I'm told you can't do that because it's not appropriate. Yeah, well, maybe I'm not appropriate on purpose. Maybe this is something I want to do. So. But
then context comes into play again. No? I mean, you like you said, if you do something like that, then either you get basically self-regulated by the public.
Yeah, but then the public is it that does it, and not the state. And I don't like the state telling me you can't watch this. Sorry, I'm an adult person, and I should be free to choose if I want to do that. It's okay if they say you have to be an adult to see that, and you have to be an adult to play that. But sorry, I'm 26 years old. I know what I can and cannot watch.
But before you can do that, you'd have to ensure that age ratings, and that basically you have to educate the public about video games and age ratings, and that is just not the case.
Yeah,
the problem. I mean, yes, I understand, and I agree. It's not really our problem. As in, like, when we produce a game, if it has excessive violence, if it has, I don't know, pornographic content, if it has whatever, any or taboo content, whatever it might be, then we do that, and we rate it appropriately, or get it rated, and then based on that rating, people should make a decision if they can or should play or consume that, as it were.
Yes.
And
maybe put a disclaimer in it. Beware, this game might freak you out, or this game shows extended pornographic content. I don't know. Just tell the people, and then the people decide. What the fuck?
Ready?
I have to say I'm a bit torn to two different directions here. I totally love the way you're singing of Sarah, because I hate censorship myself. On the other hand, I think there are some things that really go basically too far, where like I say, 98% consensus of mankind is present that says no fucking way. And I guess probably the best thing I could the best thing I could name there probably are in very small niche of games, and never played them, saw documentations about this stuff, is that, for example, right-wing fascist organizations are doing basically crude games. They're cheap as fuck and they look ugly as fuck. But you can put really wrong messages into games, and I think they can turn games into something else, which is basically like this propaganda platforms. It's encouraging you to do this in real life. So you have this one game where you bash lots of dark-skinned people just to increase hatred against them, and I think this is something crossing a line, something which is making you forget about that this is a game, and shows you something which is really out of line with law.
See, the problem that I have with your theory of self-regulating by the public is that I'm a very cynical bastard, and I think the public will not self-regulate. The public is going to turn it into something that it was not intended to be, and it's going to cause trouble. And the thing is that, in my eyes, I can sort of predict what will happen when I release a certain type of game, and I will know reactions, not exact reactions, but I can gauge reactions. And as a developer, I think there is a certain responsibility there to to make sure that, like Schmitty said, no wrong messages, because we're not just entertainment. It's part of things that the people grow up with, even when they're 18 or older, at which point they can buy everything they want to. Even at that point, you still sort of encourage or educate or shape people with games in a way. And if you just don't care what people might think, don't care about taboos, don't care about anything, then that may end up.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should not care. That's not my point. You should care as a developer, and you should put thought in it what you want to do, but you should have the freedom to do it if you want to do it. So,
so then we have the next trouble that that I, again, cynical bastard. I believe that if there is something that can be done, somebody will do it regardless of how stupid it is.
That's one of the rules of the internet, by the way.
Well, yes, and then he has to take the responsibility for what he
but
did.
Then comes the previous part where I say that most people will not realize how stupid it is, or they will take it in the wrong content. You'll have people that just use it in a different way.
Yeah, then that's a problem.
Yeah, and that's the problem we have. And how do you deal with that?
Maybe we should put some effort into education instead of shoving just prejudices into people's face.
Yeah. So I agree with that. On principle, I think the biggest trouble with censorship and the biggest problem with censorship. Yes, we will. We're doing it right now.
Yes.
Is that in essence you're just trying to cover up the problem. The problem, which is that people are not able to properly deal with things, as it were, and that I think is a problem with education, a problem with how people are raised, how kids are raised.
Oh yes.
That is the problem every time I go into MediaMarkt and I see mom buying their 5-year-old the latest Call of Duty. That's the problem that I see when young kids at home find their parents' porn stash at 3 years of age. It's up to the society to regulate that, in my personal opinion. It's just the problem is right now the society is not quite up to it.
Yes.
And we should work on that. Until then,
I go into rage mode until then.
we go into rage mode until then. Okay, I'm being told we have to wrap up. It's been a fun hour. We've talked a lot. We had a lot of fun. If you have questions, if you have any comments and everything, be sure to share them on Facebook, on Twitter, on the forum. We will see you again in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in 2 weeks.
Unless told otherwise.
Unless you're told otherwise.
Which
Okay.
might happen.
So Emily will let you know. And until then, have a great evening and see ya.
The internet is all porn.